welcome to Shooting the Breeze, episode 4, hosted by myself, Sledge TV. Got my co-host, 12 Gaige. Nice roll call.
I just freaked out because I had double audio. I was like, "What the fuck's going on?" I forgot it's because the stream as well.
Oh no!
What a great start!
Gorefather?
I thought he had like sudden onset amnesia or something like that. Like it's just like, oh yeah, 12 gauges. Where am I? What's real?
He's got stage fright at the urinal, couldn't piss when he was called up. And our guest for today is your friend and mine, PimpDaddy. How you doing, Pimp?
I'm very well. How are you guys?
Very good. All right. So Pimp, would you like to do any kind of introduction for yourself?
I mean, I can.
On the spot here.
I'm definitely not a professional streamer. I just jump in and join in with Sledge or whoever's
Neither are we.
streaming at the time.
We're barely amateur streamers.
When I'm not here, I'm doing fireworks. So yeah, that industry's getting great now. So we were very, very quiet for a long time, but it's getting good.
Yeah.
What an interesting job to tell people you have.
Yeah,
I do fireworks.
Such a flex.
Yeah, I work in fireworks.
Yeah. Just real quick, Sledge. Probably, I don't know, the stream, you are the best quality, and all three of us are absolute trash.
Yep.
Is there a reason why that is? Just obviously,
He's
guessing-
scaled the quality based on how many followers we have.
I'm guessing it's a hosting thing because this actually will record to your computers locally and then send to me over a cloud kind of thing. So I get a recording straight on your computer. So this is basically just display stuff. All right.
If you open that can inside your microphone, it just almost burst my eardrums.
Alrighty. Well, now that we've got our start out of the way, we've talked about our technical regulations because we are starting on a new platform that we're very much getting used to now. Just makes things a little bit easier for us. Let's move into our... me. Let's move on to our first topic for today. And that is, what have we been getting up to since the last podcast? It's been a couple of weeks. We're now into December. We're now into summer, even though it's been mostly cold and miserable here in the east states of Australia. But let's start with you, Gore. What have you been getting up to over the last fortnight?
I've still just been absolutely jam-packed with football. So we're probably, halfway through the season now, getting up to the halfway point. So it's still been, twice a week, 2 hours at a time, training, and then games on Saturdays. And then, still just going to the gym a shit ton to try and actually gain any kind of muscle at all, which is nice. But yeah, other than that, literally, it's pretty much been taking all my time. Otherwise, if I do have downtime, I'm too exhausted and I kind of just rewatch comfort shows. I've binged all of Parks and Rec and I started Peaky Blinders again.
You've been playing any games over the couple of weeks or not really?
When I get time, I play a little bit of Infinite still, because that's still just chef's kiss. And then I kind of started from Halo because I fucking love the lore. Like all the backstory and stuff like that to Halo is just fucking fantastic. So I went back and started replaying the Master Chief Collection on Legendary as well.
Oh, yeah.
So not that long ago, I went back and finished Reach on Legendary. So by myself. So finished that. So then I started on Halo 1 as well.
Nice. I believe the Infinite campaign launches in like 4 days or something as well. There you go.
3 now, isn't it?
On the 8th.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, on the 8th.
That's going to be fun.
Very
and Gaige, what have you been getting up to over the last fortnight?
Same boat with as Lachlan, I guess. Like not much. Obviously, coming to the end of the year, work's been hammering pretty hard. Been very busy like that. Haven't been doing any streaming, but been playing a bit of video games. Been playing what was it called?
Inscription?
Inscription. Thank you very much, Sledge. Love that. But it's such a strange game. Like I can't really go into detail too much because it really does ruin the story when you start to explain how the game works. But it's almost like a cult. But it makes a transition from like a card battling game to like a side scrolling like card battle. It's really strange. It's a lot of fun, but I've been playing a bit of that. Getting back into Tarkov. Got a fresh Tarkov wipe coming up soon. So yeah, just in my spare time, just been playing a bit of Tarkov and Inscription, and then obviously the Halo campaign will be pumping pretty hard when it comes out on the 8th. But no, haven't been really streaming. Hoping to get back into it once get back in the swing of things. Just a crazy time of year.
Yeah, I'm glad you got into that Inscription after we talked about it, and I was just like, I've heard so many good things about this, and you're like, okay, what's good about it? I'm like, actually, no one's told me what's good about it. They just keep telling me it's good.
It is good. It's a lot of fucking fun. Like just like the card battling is so much fun. And then it makes a full like 180 on you and transitions to a different type of game, which is very similar. It still has like the card battling aspect, but then it turns into a side scroller, it's so weird. And I haven't progressed any further because I don't know if I really enjoy the flip.
Yeah.
Like I enjoyed the original. I'm sure you played a bit of that starting like progressive card battling, but I really enjoyed that. But then the change is it's really strange. Like I can't explain too much of it without ruining the story for you. So you have to get to it and see. What I mean.
After playing,
but I do recommend
playing the demo, which you can pick up free from Steam for anyone interested. It was really cool to see that some of the cards actually had personalities and stuff, and they'd talk to you while you were trying to play.
Yeah, definitely. It's cool like that.
Yeah.
But I think it's got like 3 or 4 from what I could read up on. So like the game changes essentially the kind of game it is 3 or 4 times. It still has like its basic card battling aspect, but how it approaches it changes like 3 or 4 times over the whole length of the game. It's really weird.
Yeah, it's cool. I think I'll dive into that one once we hit holidays and I have time to actually binge it properly. And Mr. Pimp, what have you been getting up to now that you're finally on the podcast after being thrown in under the bus, as you said a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah, look, I've been thrown under the bus for the Great Ketchup Gate, so I thought it was best that I could actually get in here and get involved in it at some point.
What is that? Explain that to me.
You remember when we had that whole argument about tomato sauce?
When you fucking had
sorry,
sushi
You
with
put someone
tomato
sushi.
sauce on it, like some kind of fucking
Yeah.
monster.
No, it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad.
So
Taste,
Pimp
it
was the
wasn't
one
too
telling.
bad. Morally, it was disgusting.
It's such a divisive topic. But yes, Pimp was the one who told us about his tomato sauce kebabs at first, and that started the whole conversation.
Yeah, look, that was a whole thing, and it's obviously a sensitive topic still for you guys, so I'll be very careful with where I say I can and can't use ketchup.
Thank you.
But yeah, look,
Tomato sauce.
It's bothering me more
tomato
that you're
sauce.
calling it ketchup.
Yeah, it's tomato sauce, please.
It's been great having you on the show.
Whoa. Ketchup's a thing too. Before you guys get fucking too excited, there is tomato sauce and ketchup. But hey,
yes.
What about
I'm sure there is, but I think
totally
cat's
unrelated
too.
Totally unrelated.
Is it? I just thought it was a Simpsons reference.
Nah, catsup is a real thing. Catsup and catship are 2 separate things.
Oh, we're breaking up the family before.
But we're not getting into it. We're not getting into it.
Oh my god.
All right. So food stuff aside, what have you been getting up to, Pim?
Look, basically, same as you guys. It's the end of the year. Obviously, working in fireworks this is our peak season. If we're not busy now, we're never going to be busy. So we're getting smashed. So we're getting ready for shows all over New South Wales and the ACT. We're doing the ACT fireworks for New Year's Eve and a bunch of other shows, and just trying to keep busy. So yeah, I'm in charge of warehousing as well, so I actually send fireworks out to other guys that then put displays on. So if we're not building our own products, we're sending them to somebody else. So at this time of the year, it's just absolute mayhem.
So will you guys be doing the big display over Lake Burley Griffin for the ACT this year?
That's us.
That's the one? Nice.
Barges
That's
and all,
awesome.
mate. We'll be there. Yep, we do.
Can't wait to see the 9 o'clock one and then go to bed at 11 o'clock.
Yeah. Just ignore all the extra work we put in Just ignore all the work we put in for midnight. It's really irrelevant. And video game wise, very very little. A little bit of Sea of Thieves now that the new season's out. But a little bit of New World, just a little bit. It's doing its thing, but it's a bit interesting. But yeah, that's what I've been up to.
Yeah, nice. And you sporting your favourite streamer's hat there? Oh, Captain Davo.
Yes. Yeah, Captain Davo, yes.
I have to give him a shout out.
Whenever he
The only
streams.
one not wearing a hat, I feel left out.
It's only to hide
Just
my
put a
mouth
tomato
and
sauce bottle on your
baldness.
head.
It's fine.
Do you even own a hat, Lachlan? I don't think I've ever seen you wear one.
What? You've been friends with me for. I used to exclusively wear. I've got one sitting right here.
Backwards hats. He was always backwards hats.
It was always backwards.
Oh
hat.
yeah, you're right. Yeah. No, you are right.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
There we go. Now he's in.
There we
Look
go.
how fucking
That's
hectic
better.
I am, cunt.
Now he looks like McLovin crossed with Fred Durst.
I have to use a Hawaiian license to get in the venue.
It's
Real, I swear.
And that'll bring it.
And what about
that'll
you,
bring it
Sledge?
to me. Thank you, Gaige.
Hey, what have you been getting up to?
I had on Tuesday last week, I had a charity Fortnite tournament for the Sony Foundation, which was a wild time because I haven't played Fortnite. I think when I looked through my Fortnite roster, it was about 500 days I'd gone without playing Fortnite.
While we're on the Fortnite subject, have you boys seen the new skin?
Yeah, it's
Dwayne
The
The Rock
Rock. I
Johnson.
saw that. Yeah.
How fucking crazy
Yeah,
is
he
that?
actually
That's awesome.
voice acts in the new cutscene for it.
Oh,
Yeah.
it doesn't really.
I only want to
wow.
play it if
I
like,
thought
the
that
whole
game was
time
dead.
that you're running around, it's just like, it's about drive, it's about power. We say hungry,
Just every time he kills someone, he's just like, "What can I say except you're welcome."
You're
welcome.
But yeah, that tournament was pretty interesting. That was organised by Cameron Leviton, an Australian Fortnite streamer. And that was the
Did you
Sony
win?
Foundation raising money for youth cancer. No, best we came was third in every match.
Who'd you play with?
So it was mostly people from the OCE Cam Cup community. So where it even got harder was all the best players were going in solo at first, and then once they figured out who was good, they were partying up. So it ended up being just one team full of sweats, just wiping the floor with everyone. But it was still a fun time. So apart from that, I've been checking out the new season of Sea of Thieves with Pimp. We've been cruising around, letting off all the fireworks in the game, finding treasure buried by other players, burying treasure and making maps. It's a wild time, but I really enjoy that update. It's like a good just quality of life, like making things like you can straight fill up crates with one button kind of thing.
So
Things
good.
like that.
So handy.
You can sleep to get health back. Just things that will just help the longevity of that game. That was pretty fun. Last night, I went to the CBR Brave versus Canberra Knights hockey game, the exhibition game to see off the captain, Matt Harvey, before he moves to Canada. That was a wild time just to see some ice hockey again. It's been a while since we've had hockey, and for the first time in 3 or 4 years, I didn't have to commentate that. So I actually got to just be a spectator, which I just not having done that in ages and being able to go and have like a couple of beers and catch up with people and see a whole bunch of friendly faces was awesome. And then after that, I went to a new bar in town with Scardine called the Albie. Wild place, pretty expensive. But
Every bar in Canberra is pretty expensive.
yeah, it's the interesting gimmick of this bar. So the first level is just like a nice open bar area. Kind of looks like a cantina kind of thing. And then you go downstairs, you walk in, it's like a sports bar when you first walk in, the doors there. But when you get up the back, there's 3 bowling lanes and 2 pool tables and then a bunch of pinball machines. So
cool.
it's a very weird environment to be in, and it's super loud. The weirdest thing though, it's like an underground bar. Like you have to go down like a fire escape to get into the underground basement. You get to the bar. The other side, it was just children. There was so many children in this bar. I'm like, this doesn't feel right.
Like I'm just imagining, like behind the bar. Like I'm just imagining this. Like, hey, can I have a
Just
have a sex on the
just
beach?
like a
And then it's
7-year-old's
like,
pouring you a schooner and
yeah, can I have a sex on the beach? What's in a sex on the beach?
what is
You
sex?
just walk up and just ask for a virgin cocktail, and you're just like, "You're a virgin. I'll beat you 1v1."
Well, I mean, if the kids are making the cocktails, every cocktail made by them is a virgin cocktail. So really,
These are horrible jokes. Let's move on, boys. Come on. I expect better from you, Sledge.
why they can get so much worse? Let's keep going.
Yeah, this is just the tip of the iceberg, Gage.
Like that fucking TikTok I sent you, Sledge. It's just like child murder isn't funny. It is if you say it like this,
Yeah.
child moida. I fucking
Reminds
laughed
me
at
of
that
that.
for so long.
It reminds me of that stupid meme from it was like one of the original memes from back in the
What's
day.
what's worse than a rapist? Oh, a child. That meme is the fucking best. Every time I see it, I lose it.
A child.
Yeah. So anyway, I think I could do for what we've been getting up to before this descends into
great
any
podcast.
more fucking memery.
That's good. I love memes.
We'll become a meme if we keep it up.
I was about to say, it's just going to be us showing TikToks for an hour.
just get our phones out, like show a TikTok.
How old are you?
TikTok
I'm
reactions.
21.
I tell you
That
what,
one you
my
love Gaige, where they're
my
just on each
TikTok
other's
lane-
shoulders.
my TikTok lane has changed to the point, like when I first got TikTok, Rashina used to get excited when she heard the same ones that I was, that she was getting. And now it's changed. I played one the other night for the guys. It's like White Claw Gabe, and all he does is sit there with his White Claws, and he's like, "Fuck yeah, baby, it's Friday. Fuck yeah, fuck."
I love that guy.
It's just like, and I lose my shit every time I see him. And Rashina's just all like, she just fucking hates me from
I
across
like
the
the
room.
one. Have you seen the one where people make drinking games out of the videos where they each assign a word, like someone's baby, someone's fuck, and someone's like White Claw, and every time he says like that word, that person has to drink.
Oh, that's brutal. That one made me laugh so much the other day that I sent you, Lachlan, where the old mate's like, got a jerry can. He's all like, "This is a jerry can. My brother Jeff had one. He blew up his wife and kids."
That dude is the fucking most random dude ever.
Yeah, that, and then I sent one back where he's just like, cocaine, and he's just like, nope, flour. So someone asked why I don't like the military.
He's so random.
He
So
is.
fucking dumb, but I love it so much.
Anyway, if you've got any good TikToks, dump them into our Discord. We are the Fingerbang Gang. You can find us at discord.gg Fingerbang Gang. If you've got any funny TikToks, dump them somewhere in the memes folder, and we'll go through them because I enjoy the shit out of them.
What a good little
TikTok
segue.
channel.
Is that a segue? I like how you turned that around. That was good, Sledge. Well done.
Thank you.
Back on track.
Keeping this
Smooth.
podcast together.
Smooth.
I'm almost becoming natural. All right. And that shall take us to our next topic. I love that little gunshot noise. All right.
Just
Yes?
I got sorry, I'm going to change the subject again, which I tend to do a lot. I've got like a little like gaming news thing up, so I can get some information if we need to like create some conversation. I just seen one here. Where'd it go? But essentially, what it said was they're making a TV series live action version of Hunt Showdown.
Oh.
After the last conversation we had, how cool is
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
eh?
So it's just
So
going to
they-
be like
they're
you
not-
spawn in and then get immediately, and then they just immediately die.
Well, it literally says right here that it's not going to be on the jump scare aspect. It's going to be more of the backstory of to why you're essentially hunting those creatures and beasts.
that actually sounds like.
But
really
yeah, they're
cool.
gonna make a TV
Okay.
series, and I think that is a prime example of what could be done. Like if they do it properly, it can be done. I reckon it can be done really well. If they focus more like they did with The Witcher, where they go down a semi fantasy realistic avenue with it, I think it could go really
Yeah,
well.
that's cool. And like,
Yeah,
yeah,
makes
as you
a lot of
said,
sense.
last episode we were talking about games that should be made into live action adaptations. So yeah, a cool little follow on from that. I'll be keen to check that one out. Alrighty. Shall we move on to the next topic then?
Sure.
I just wanted to let off the gunshot again. All right. Topic number 2. Okay, this is going to be our debate topic here. So I'm assuming we're going to end up on two sides of this and come to absolutely no agreement because we never can agree on anything
like always.
ever.
Yeah, like
So
always.
it's going to be
Yeah,
me on one
standard.
side and Gaige on the other.
It always is.
All right. So the topic of this debate is, are esports participants athletes? And if so, which sports do you believe aren't a sport? So let's start off with the esports. Do you consider esports participants athletes?
No. Next topic.
All right.
Give me a reason.
I don't think like in the traditional sense. I think that's why it's like the esports kind of tag has come in, because I think it's just like I do think they work extremely hard, but I think there's that
Absolutely.
definite separation from traditional sports. But I think literally the definition of sport is something that is like you can get better at by repeating it, and it comes down to like a muscle memory kind of thing. That's off the top of my head. I don't know how accurate it is, but
I was about to say I'm fact checking this.
yeah.
So
So I think it's something like that. It's just like, yeah, it needs to be like, to be considered a sport, it needs to be something that you can improve at by consistently getting like the same kind of movements down and practicing it over
doing
and over
more
and
of
over
it.
again.
Okay,
So,
so from Cambridge Dictionary, a game, competition, or activity needing physical effort and skill that is played or done according to rules for enjoyment and/or as a job. So
Physical effort or skill. See,
So
I
wouldn't
would,
esports still be considered physical?
I would
Like
assume so.
physical? Because you're still
I
using your hand and eye
presume so.
coordination. You know, just because you're not running up and down just because you're not running up and down a field, like they even consider poker players to be athletes, and like I don't know.
Yeah.
So
See,
poker I
I
wouldn't,
think-
because
Like-
that's more like same as like chess. I wouldn't consider chess a sport because it's just like you do need that kind of understanding, and it's more like it's an intellectual thing. Like
Closer to a
but-
mathlete then.
Yeah. But then in
so,
that,
but is
in that
chess?
I'm just
same
chess
imagining like a
considered sport?
mathlete doing like 100-meter like sprint and then a shit ton of division.
Like
in
a
that same
relay
thing,
where
though,
you've got
like,
to solve an equation first.
Yeah.
when I
So
when
just
I look
I
at
want to. So
esports people,
so
I
you go,
think
Pim.
more
Mhm.
like as esports people, I think more of like a lot of them are like public figures. Like if you know
Hmm.
esports guys, you know them because they play the game that you like. So if it's Counter Strike or pick any game
Yeah,
that
but
you
at a
like
high
that have
level.
esports people at the top tier, they are public figures.
Hmm.
People know them because they play Fortnite or Counter Strike or whatever it might be. In exactly the same breath, there are poker players that are public figures. You know, I would, there's no
Hmm.
way you'll ever see Phil Hellmuth run a 100-meter sprint. But if you say the word Phil Hellmuth, if
No,
you know
absolutely not.
anything about poker, they go, oh yeah, I know who that is. I know that guy. Like I know what he does.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, brat.
well, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So, and there are a lot of sports that have, I mean, sports, not sports, classify them what you want, that have that same mentality of that person because they do that thing. Like there's darts players. Pick a name of a darts player. They are known for playing darts, but again, is it a sport? I don't know if I'm the right person to say yes or no because I love to play poker and I'm fat. So
None of us are. Let's argue anyway.
But okay, so so I don't know. I think I said more towards that. Yeah, esports could be considered athletes.
Yep.
But then Lachlan's on the fence that he doesn't think they are. Do you think chess players are considered? Chess is considered a sport, Lachlan?
No.
No.
It'd be
But-
the same as like a board game tournament. Like if you were a fucking professional board game player, it's
Chess has been recognized as a sport by the International Olympic Committee since 2000.
what would they fucking?
So
what would they know?
technically,
What the fuck would the
technically, it is
International
a
Olympic
sport.
Committee
But
know?
then, so then your comparison was that esports and players are similar to chess players. So that so in that comparison, then yes, they would be considered
I
athletes.
love that, like,
Gage
Gaige opened up
any
the
of our
screen and it turned
arguments-
his whole face white. And then as soon as everyone saw Gaige was on, it was just all like, sit up a bit. He's got something here.
any of our arguments been based in fact. This is all purely conjecture. Every single
Pure
time.
speculation.
Yes, no,
It's not
but
whether,
because
it's
like
not
I don't know,
whether-
but even
None of this-
even if you look at an esports player, and I'm not talking streamers. Okay, streamers generally are a personality. Okay,
Yep.
they are an influencer, sure, but you look at esports players, they take what they do very seriously. They train, they eat, they have like an eating regime
hope
where
they
they make sure they eat proper things. They eat proper
I hope
things
they
so their
drink water, too.
mind is intact. They're still using hand and eye coordination. They still watch their diet. They exercise regularly to keep themselves mentally and physically on top of their game. I don't know. I would definitely consider them to be athletes because especially seriously in the competitive level they play it at. And it's not like they're just like they're still working hard physically to make sure they can compete at their highest ability. I would definitely. Same thing as like chess players, athletes, poker players are athletes, and I love poker, but even then, because they still even the most highest poker players take their exercise and their eating very seriously, so they're mentally and physically prepared for a 24-hour or not sorry a 14-hour
days at a time.
poker
Yeah.
tournament. So they will sit there at a table and play poker for 16 hours 5 days a week. This is very physically demanding. So I would say I generally lean more towards that. You can classify these as athletes because it is, even though they're sitting in a chair, it is physically demanding.
mentally too.
I like it.
There's a lot of mental drain on
mentally. Oh, absolutely,
poker,
mentally,
esports,
definitely. But
any of that.
But I think the argument, so what I took from the argument was that it's not physical. Like it has to be a physical activity to be considered a sport. But I disagree 100%. I do think it's very physically demanding. Maybe not in the aspect of running up and down a field, but there is an aspect of it being physically demanding by having to sit there and pay attention to a certain thing for 14 hours straight when it comes to poker. And when it comes to esports, your hand and eye coordination has to be perfect. You have to be like attentive. You have to be paying attention. That can drive you mentally and physically tiring. So that's why I would classify them as athletes.
Yeah. It's like
I disagree.
Anyone else? Lachlan and I just got a back and forth this whole
I
time.
definitely think there's like that, like as you said, there's that physical component that makes them demanding, but I don't think that because something is physically demanding, it necessarily makes you an athlete. If that makes sense.
Okay, so what makes you an athlete?
I think athleticism is just a general ability overall, like in regards to physicality and like physical exercise. And to me, athleticism isn't necessarily just applicable to one specific niche thing. If someone is athletic, they're athletic overall kind of thing. Like that's just my take. Well, generally what it's just like, okay, cool, athlete, a person who's proficient in sports and other forms of physical exercise. So to me, that's a lot more broad. So while I do think that like esports and things like that are definitely a sport because there's definitely that like ability to, like as you said, like it is very physically demanding. But in saying that, a lot of esports players and things like that, and a lot of darts players, poker players, things like that, like as you said, like they're not athletic. They're playing a sport and they're fantastic at that sport in that specific occasion, but they're not athletic overall kind of thing.
My argument against that would be: do you consider powerlifters to be athletic?
Yes.
Because you cannot see you will not see a powerlifter run 100 meters.
Yeah, but
you'll see him lift 400 kilos, but you won't see him do anything else but lifting 400 kilos.
Yeah, but it's not like it's not the same thing. Is that it's just like, it's not just like, can you do like lift this and then also run and do this? It's just like that ability to just kind of be like athletic and physical overall. But it's the same thing. Like as I said, if you have good like. The exception being fucking Pasha, the professional Counter-Strike player who was just permanently ripped and just this super jacked cunt. He was athletic, but that was purely because he did nothing
all
the fucking time.
You are stereotyping video game players to just be fat and.
I never said that. You did. You're making the assumption.
No, because no, you made the
everybody
exception.
Hear that? Gaige is saying everybody who plays video games are fat.
Jesus.
You said the exception is this really fit guy. That's not an exception at all.
No,
I reckon I could point out a ton of
exception to athleticism,
because I reckon
not to.
Because the only reason I reckon it translates is because I reckon you could bring in, let's say, a tennis player who has great hand and eye coordination. You show him how to use a keyboard and mouse, and that will translate into his ability to play a video game.
Exactly.
Okay, so flip side of that.
That translates.
Do you reckon?
That translates.
Do you reckon?
I reckon.
Do you reckon that an esports guy could be given a tennis racket and be good at it?
No.
I reckon. Why?
I've seen Ninja try and catch a football, and it's not pretty.
Yep.
That isn't really.
So
that's
bad.
my big thing. But that's the thing. I think there
okay.
are
Again,
people...
my argument to that, Sledge, is Ninja is an influencer. He's not the best. Like I reckon you could give a tennis racket to Shroud, and that dude could play some innings, like some rounds of tennis. Because that's As I said, that was like you would need to Gaige. But I reckon because Shroud is unfucking believable with hand-eye coordination. That dude is unbelievable. I reckon but you wouldn't know because like we're all making assumptions here because there's no way I can't just jump on the phone and go, "Oi, Shroud, come and play some tennis. I want to prove something to the boys." But I just feel like that's
I don't know Shroud's phone number.
Yeah, but even then, like I think Ninja's more of I would base Ninja more in an influencer category than I would an esports competitor because the only thing he really competed with was Fortnite.
He was a Halo pro way before.
Oh, Halo too. You are right. Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe I might be wrong.
I'd even go so far as to say that athleticism isn't something that you can attribute to an entire sport, esport, anything like that. I think athleticism is like a person by person basis. Because I think there are people who play at a high level and they're really good at it, but they aren't necessarily athletic. I think it is definitely a.
You could also make that argument for some baseball players, though.
Yeah, and that's
I
what
think
I'm
that
saying.
argument's everywhere.
But so I don't think necessarily there can be esports people that are athletes and are athletic, but in my opinion, the kind of sedentary nature of esports doesn't lend themselves to truly athletic people.
I think it's
Well,
someone
the
who's
more-
trained themselves to be at a peak performance that's like well above the average human level kind of thing. Like, and there'd be a whole bunch of different categories. Like, someone brought it up before, like darts. Like, you've got to, if you want to be good at darts, you've got to have like
You have
perfect
to throw
hand-eye
a million
coordination
darts.
kind of thing.
Yeah, you have to be very good at it.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're not going to last, 2-3 rounds of
the same
boxing, but you are still going to nail a 180 like every time you need to. Yeah.
But it's exactly the same thing with esports. Like none of us four here can compete against the best of the best in esports.
Oh, I can't even compete against the worst. All right, so we've done the usual.
Another great
we've
topic
landed
with great discussion points. Thank you, boys.
good
you.
debate.
So the grand
we've
answer
landed
is we got
absolutely nowhere on it.
we never land anywhere on them.
Listeners, it's up to you. What do you guys think?
Whoa. Okay.
Every week,
but we don't have
slowly...
to. We don't have to
Yeah,
agree.
no.
Every week we just slowly
that's
chip
the whole point
away
of debating.
at our friendships, and then
No,
don't settle on anything.
The whole point. The whole point. We don't have to agree. That's the whole point of a debate. You don't have to agree on something as long as we accept each other's opinions and discussion points.
I actually think, in comparison to the past few topics, you guys have actually found a bit of common ground here, in the sense that, there are athletic people, and there are people who are known for what they do. Doesn't matter what it is, whether it's, sports or darts or poker, or call it, pick anything. There are people who are known for that thing. And, does that person who plays poker for 16 hours have to be, mentally and physically rather fit to do that? Absolutely. Does the esports person have to do the same? Absolutely. Do they have to be as fit and athletic as the guy who runs 100 meters every day? Probably not. But everybody has their own pros and cons, and all these different sports, call them whatever you like, have different things, even, bowling is a sport. And there's a lot of skill in bowling. You need to know, how to throw the ball. You don't just throw it down the end and hope for the best. There's heaps more to it. And I don't know the start of it. I don't know the start of how to throw a dart properly.
You have to...
A fun side note. Well, not really fun side note of this. I remember reading into it. It was probably 6 years ago now. Talking about Counter-Strike pros and how the average age of retirement was about 23 years old. And the reason for that was to keep up to the peak reaction time of other players. Pretty much all of the pros at that point were taking speed just so they could have that like ultra fast reaction time. And it meant that their bodies just broke down so quickly that they just lost like so much reaction time as soon as they were off speed. And yeah, I'm not sure whether drug testing is a huge thing in esports. You think it would be? But yeah, it was a massive problem, and I think it was still a huge problem right up until about 2 years ago.
Wow.
That's crazy.
So, not fun side note.
Maybe.
No, but it's definitely interesting to know that's an aspect of the competitiveness of it.
Yeah. Maybe that's another aspect of what makes it a game. There's been drug cheats.
I thought you were going to be, it's only a game if you can take speed and it's okay.
No, it's just like, every sport has had a drug scandal of some description. Think of any sport ever.
Absolutely.
Weightlifters, there's always anabolic steroids or whatever it might be. If it's, obviously we're now learning esports is full of, well, potentially full of drugs, or was full of drugs.
Speed addicts.
Every...
Come on, it has to be. It has to be.
The Olympics is always rife with drugs. So maybe that's the point, if anything has had, some form of drug problem, does that make it a sport?
Yeah, when it's got a drug scandal, they get considered to be like.
As I said,
does that make it a sport? I don't know.
as I said in the chat not that long ago, I just want a competition where there is no limits on what drugs you can. Like,
The
let's
drug
fucking
Olympics?
min-max the
Yeah,
human.
man.
Let's min-max the
Yeah,
human
that's
body. I want to see some guy who weighs 400 kilos and has more muscles and brains. I want to see how much that cunt can lift above his head. Like, that sounds amazing.
No, do you know what
The
I want to
next-
see?
let's-
I want to see a guy
Until
throw
he kills
a
himself
javelin
for your
like,
entertainment.
yeah, I want to see a guy throw a javelin like 700 meters, or his heart explode. You know, we'll just see what
The-
happens.
Yeah.
I want to see the
Gaige,
next
Where's
step
the
of that.
ethics?
Don't
on
bring
that?
ethics into my funny bit.
I want to
Let it be
see.
funny on its own accord.
I want to see the next step of that, where it's purpose-bred humans specifically for certain events.
Like that tiny Russian kid who was like
Yeah.
8 and was just ripped.
That I think I
Yeah.
could just be pulling this out of
Mega
my
jacked.
ass, but Yao Ming, the 7'6" basketball player from China, apparently he
Yep.
was the result of an experiment of having the two tallest people in China bred together to see what came
Oh,
out.
really?
And yeah, like he had to retire.
Well, that's the
young.
same thing as
Now we just fucking
Lonzo
fishes,
Ball.
fishes plastic out of dolphins' tummies.
Because I
with
never
one
I don't really
hand.
follow the NBA, but they were saying how like the same thing with like Lonzo Ball. Was that the father? Do you know those?
Oh yeah.
He specifically I forget what it's called, but he specifically chose his wife not because he loved her, but because she could birth good basketball sons. And now like his two sons are
Just imagine
one
him,
of the, like
just
some of the
imagine him
highest
like hanging out
competitive
by a basketball
players.
court and just waiting for like a cute girl with a fucking sick dribble. Just like, oh man, see, she has the perfect birthing hips and she can hit a three like no one else.
And then like another like little conversation we we're just having about like breeding and like doing like scientific experiments to get athletes. I was listening to a podcast about conspiracy theories the other day, and there was a conspiracy theory about them mixing DNA of like cockroaches with people to get like certain abilities from them. And
Like
there's a
being able to live
conspiracy
forever?
that they're currently running those. Yeah, or like you mix the DNA of a cheetah with a human being so they sprint faster. And there's literally a conspiracy theory out about how some of the athletes in the world are those the experiments that were done 10, 20 years ago. Now that's why you've got Usain Bolt, who was bred with a cheetah.
I just imagine like someone bred like crossed with a cockroach that you can't kill with a newspaper. Like they just keep running.
That was an example, but yeah, it's just like just mixing DNA like genes to get the best certain parts out of certain DNA to increase our ability.
You
Also
could
like
mix
the-
if you could mix your DNA with one other animal and get benefits from it, what would it be
Ooh.
and why?
Good question.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Ultimate.
A spider, so I can have multiple limbs and just make things easier when I'm getting around.
That sounds horrific.
Let me think.
I can be like quintuple parked. And just that waterfall
Man, I don't
trick,
know.
but it's just just multiple
you.
hands
Just a lot of
pouring
arms.
beers
Yeah.
in the beers. Anyone else got?
I think I would want to go with something fast.
jerk off 8 dudes at
to
once.
get that like.
It'd be pretty cool to mix with an ant and just get like that 10 times your body strength.
Oh yeah,
Just get hella jacked.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You drop something under your car, you just pick it up and grab it.
Yeah, definitely going with some form of strength would be really handy. And yeah, the ant is the one. The ant is like,
Or like a
super
bird
strong.
for flight as well.
That would be weird as shit.
Or I'd go lobster because lobsters, fun fact, don't ever die
Don't
at
die.
old age.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got like regenerative like processes.
Yeah.
Like you can pull off a claw and that
Yeah,
will
they
regenerate.
just constantly
that claw.
regenerate and they only ever die from outside influences. They don't die of old age.
And they usually die in one of the most nightmarish ways possible, where they outgrow their skin and they go to shed it, but they're too old and weak to actually get out of it. So they get stuck in their own skin and then they just like die inside their own skin.
I'm already stuck in this meat prison,
Brutal.
so it sounds fair. I'm for it still.
Here's another question. Now that you've brought that up, are your bones wet?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ah.
And there is a point as you get cremated where meat is the perfect medium
There-
rare.
They are fucking hell. They are. Your bones are at least moist. They're at least moist.
I got a moist bone for you, Gaige. Come over here.
Oh no! I wondered who was going to feel that which way, and Sledge just fucking ran with it.
So I googled this because I was just curious. I was just curious as to what the legit answer is. And one of the first Google responses is from Reddit, and someone just asked on like an Ask Reddit. They're like, "Why are people telling me my bones are wet?" Why are so many people asking you that question?
Why are your bones wet?
It's not just one person. It says people. It's not. Multiple people have asked this person why their bones are wet.
Oh my
I'm
god.
gonna ask people that question from now on.
Oh mate, why are your bones so wet? It's a good one to drop at your Christmas party. Alright.
I think it's time
Shall
to
we move on to our first game segment?
All right, we're done with wet bones. Let's go.
Sure.
All right. All right, this one will be our first podcast game that we'll be playing. This one is being organized by Mr. Gorefather. This will be video game quotes. Which game are they from, and who said them? You should probably come up with a better title than that, because I literally just typed it in.
That
You
was
got
a
it
bit
in
Wordy, for sure.
Who wrote these quotes? All right, Gorefather, take it away, my dude.
All right, so as I was saying in the little amble when we were just shit talking before, it seems the quotes are like one of those things where you're just like, oh, dude, I know so many fucking good video game quotes. There's so many amazing ones, and then as soon as you actually need to find them, you're just like, cunt, there's nothing. Like, where? Which one? So there was a lot of cool ones, but I tried to find ones that were kind of broader because I want people to get them, and I don't want it to just be like me saying cool quotes, and then it's just like, oh yes, that was actually from the 4th Final Fantasy game on disc 6. So,
And will you keep a score tally of this?
I can.
Ooh.
All right.
Let's do it.
All right, let's go.
All right, boys. Remember, this is for fun. I don't care who wins as long as
Sure.
Gaige loses.
And I know, I fucking knew you were gonna say something like
Well, there's the
that.
bus, and I can see Gaige is under it.
Yep. We're all friends. It's time to get along, but Gaige must lose.
Fuck you, Gaige.
We need some kind of like buzzer. We need like a buzzer system. Just yell your own name.
We'll work on that.
Mhm. All right, I
Sure.
can use this one.
Yell your own
I'm
name
gonna
or
come.
what animal you wanted to come. All right. Are we ready? We ready?
Yep.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
So
ready
I'm
to
going to
learn,
request that I finish the entire quote. Well, actually, no. Buzz in whenever you want. If you can pick it, then buzz in.
All
Sure.
right, just shout your name to buzz.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
All right. So the right man in the wrong place can make all the difference in the world. Don't everybody buzz in at once.
Right man in the wrong place.
All right. Now, okay. None of us know. Can we work like a clue base? Like, can we go?
Can you
I
rephrase
request
that in
a
a
clue.
question that makes sense?
Can we request clues?
Sure.
What genre is this from?
It is a famous first-person shooter. Probably one of the most famous first-person shooters.
All right.
I'm going to take
Call
a
of Duty.
punt,
Halo.
PimpDaddy.
Nah, could
Yes.
be Halo. Yeah, PimpDaddy. Okay.
I'm going to take a punt and say it's Half-Life 2.
Correct.
Oh, ding, ding.
Hey!
It is the very
And
start.
I'm going to punt Gordon.
How is Half-Life
It would have to
2
be
more
Gordon,
popular than
wouldn't
Call of Duty?
It's a G-Man at the very start. I didn't say it was more popular. You said Call of Duty, and I said nothing.
All right, that's one to Pimp.
I thought you said
I
one.
said no. I
That's
said
one point.
very
Woo!
popular. One of the most popular first-person shooters. So one to
it?
pin.
Next.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Fair enough.
Second, a man chooses, a slave obeys.
Bioshock.
I'm really bad.
Oh,
at
sorry,
this game.
Sledge.
Yes.
Bioshock.
Yes, correct. That is.
Yes.
Who said it? Who said it? Who said it? Who said it?
Is it Andrew Ryan? Is
It
that
is.
the?
I'll give both.
Yeah.
You get 1 point for the game, 1 point for the person.
Yeah, cool.
All right.
So
Good
yeah,
point.
Andrew,
Sweet.
Andrew Ryan and Bioshock.
I've never played either of those
You'd
games.
love Bioshock, Gaige. Like the story of that.
Gage is like,
Probably,
yeah, I'm a
yeah.
gamer. I've just played 3,000 hours of Tarkov. Oh, what else have you played?
I
Is that a game? I thought there was
There's more
just
than Tarkov?
Yeah. Wow, you nailed me so much, like really well
Okay,
just there.
all right, this
That's
one.
what she said.
This
I feel like
one
I'm
is.
looking into a
This
mirror.
one's easier. Are you ready?
Yep.
War. War never changes.
What is it good for? Sorry. Keep going.
War
Or is that it?
Oh, good. War. War
All
never
right,
changes.
Sledge.
Gage,
Oh.
Call of Duty. Oh,
Sledge.
Tarkov.
Metal Gear Solid.
No, how do you guys not know this one? I thought these were all super easy.
Oh no. Sledge.
No.
Yes,
Fallout.
correct.
Ah, yes. I can't tell you who said it.
But
The
you have, like-
narrator, maybe? I don't know.
Yep, correct. Narrator, you get 2 points.
Oh.
Yes.
but he had one guess.
Boo.
I'm just gonna fucking throw a ton of different games at you every question now. Let's go.
I don't. Call of Duty isn't on the list at all, so you can stop saying Call of Duty. All right.
All right. Should we narrow it down? You get one guess only.
if the quote isn't Sajiwi, I don't know.
All right,
any
so
of
we'll do.
these.
You get one guess, and then everyone else has to like take a turn
Okay.
before you can
Sure.
go again. All right. Do a barrel roll.
I love how we're making this game up on the roll.
It's
Barrel
perfect.
roll.
This is how you do things.
Sledge.
Sledge.
Star Fox.
Yes.
Oh,
Correct.
no, Lilac Wars.
No, it's in
Oh.
for OCE. It was Lilac Wars. Everywhere else it was
Okay,
Star
yeah.
Fox.
I couldn't remember which the title was for it.
Yeah, I would have
Okay.
accepted that. 'cause I
And that
Who said it?
is Hoppy?
thought her name was Flippy.
Uh-oh.
No. Isn't it the bunny dude?
It's the. Oh yeah, it is. Oh,
Is his name Hoppy?
I googled do a barrel roll, and the Google does a barrel roll. I didn't know that. That's pretty cool.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah.
Wow.
Quickly do it. It like the whole thing. I was just like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
It is Peppy.
Peppy. Okay.
Yeah. So you only get one for
Yep.
There you go.
I don't get that.
All right. Some of these are a little bit harder now. And well, we're saying that I also thought those ones were easy. So,
I'm also
what
a
is
little bit
better,
hard now.
to be born good or to overcome your evil nature through great effort?
Fable.
I can't accept that answer because you did not say your name.
Is he right?
PimpDaddy. Fable.
No, it's not Fable.
Ah.
Oh, it's not Fable.
Shit.
Okay. Shall we get a hint here, boys?
Yeah.
Sure. Yep. Let's do
All
it.
right. What are we thinking? Genre?
Yeah.
Okay. What genre is this?
It is an RPG.
Okay. Is this
Gage.
Yes, Gage. Correct.
Skyrim.
Skyrim.
nice? Good work.
Hey, nice.
Is it? What's his name? It's a Jarl.
No.
What's his name?
It's a dragon, isn't
Okay,
it?
1 point then.
Correct.
Hey.
Yeah,
Arthanax.
Anduin or whatever the fuck his name is. No. Okay.
Anduin's from
Very cool.
Anduin's
Next one.
from World of Warcraft.
How do you not have
True.
Call of Duty quotes? in
Because
this?
what is it? Silence. The protagonist never
Oh,
says
come on.
anything.
Captain Price has so many good quotes.
Yeah, and so does so.
Whatever. I'll find one.
Anyway.
I'll put one in there.
It's so funny because I just had that moment then where I was like, Call of Duty has got so many good quotes.
Name one.
Can't tell you any of them,
Yeah,
but it's
name
got
one.
so many good quotes.
All right. Nothing is true. Everything is permitted.
No idea.
PimpDaddy.
Yeah.
Is it Portal?
No, it is
Pimp
not
Daddy.
I had that same thought.
Yeah, it's just
I
from
thought you
what he
guys played
said.
Video games.
Clue.
All right. What are you going for?
I'm not gonna go genre because that just seems.
Genre can be very broad.
I don't think that's gonna nail it down for her. I don't know.
Okay. Is this a recent game?
The original quote is not from a recent game, but they have released a lot of this game.
Okay.
Integrating quality. In my opinion, first two were really good. The third one was still pretty good, and then everything after that was pretty crap.
Well, considering you talked
So
about it
we
earlier,
got there.
is it Final Fantasy?
No.
I didn't hear pimp. So I got there's at least. Well, he essentially just told us there's at least 3 versions of the game.
Yeah,
At least.
and they get increasingly worse as the series goes on.
You really in the game
trying
you
to
just
think.
love jumping off tall buildings. You love it. You do it all the time.
Oh, Assassin's Creed, Gaige Assassin's
Yes.
Creed, and it's the first one. What's his name? I'm trying to remember his name.
In the first one, his name is Altair, and it's not from the first one. It's from Ezio in the second game.
The best assassin. Ezio.
All right.
I preferred the one from Black Flag. That was my favorite.
Yeah, Eddie,
Black Flag.
he was pretty cool. Good game.
Everything after Brotherhood
Anyway.
was pretty shit.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, I think everything after Black Flag was pretty shit. Personally,
Next
anyway,
one.
go on.
I would have
Next
been
one.
your daddy, but a dog beat me over the fence.
Oh, Jesus.
Imagine a dog beating you off.
Good lord.
Over the fence.
A tall dog.
Or a long wiener.
I would have been your
Could be
dad. Was it daddy or
I
dad?
would have been your daddy, but a dog beat me over the fence. I would have been your daddy, but a dog beat me over the fence.
PimpDaddy.
I'm going to...
Yeah.
Halo?
Yes, correct.
Oh!
It sounds dumb enough that it's out of
wow.
Halo.
It's Halo.
There was just
And
some
it's
weird...
100%. It's Sergeant Johnson. It wouldn't be anyone else.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
I
not
couldn't
your
think of
turn to
who,
answer,
but there's
Gaige.
just some...
Yeah.
There's just some weird shit said in those games, and I'm
Yeah.
like, it's got to be someone in Halo.
Just anything Sergeant Johnson says is amazing. But that, yeah.
Yeah. He's
All right.
the best.
I
Yeah,
have
but
2
I
number
don't know.
9s, a number 9.
Oh, Sledge.
Oh, Gaige, St.
That was
Andreas.
Sledge. That was Sledge.
It's Big Smoke from San Andreas.
That is correct.
Video
I
rap,
knew as
video
soon as I
rap.
started that
I
one,
feel-
as soon as I started that one, it was going to be gone instantly.
Oh, shit.
All
Here
right.
we go again.
That's bullshit. That wasn't me first. I'm watching that back.
All right, I've got 3 more. All right, the cake is a lie.
Sledge.
PimpDaddy.
Portal.
Ah,
Yeah.
Boo.
And
I fucking.
it's...
I forgot my own
GLaDOS?
name then. Fuck.
Wait, no,
It's
it's
just-
just written on a wall, isn't it?
Yep, correct. You get an extra
Yeah,
point.
okay.
Luna, get out my.
No, he had a guess. He had a
Yeah,
guess.
guess.
before
What's
that.
this? Boo.
He had a guess. How does he get a fucking
Well,
point?
I used a wait, no. That's a get out of jail free card.
Yep,
No.
it's in the rules. Look, I've got the official rules right here. And it says
Oh, yeah, the blank paper. Excellent.
Official wait,
that's,
no.
that's actually
Yeah.
the paperwork for me to get checked out for ADHD.
We can't read that, but it
The
doesn't
official
help.
wait,
That
no.
camera is absolute horseshit.
All right.
The wait, no
All right,
rule.
next.
Grass grows, birds fly, the sun shines, and brother, I hurt people.
Ooh.
This was from it's
Oh.
not directly in the game, it's from a series of promo videos that they made for each class of the game.
Oh, I'm going to have a punt here, Sledge.
Yep.
Borderlands.
Incorrect.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I'm just trying to think of a go.
No, can't help
Clue.
you. Not me.
Genre.
Multiplayer first-person shooter. Exclusively multiplayer first-person shooter.
Oh.
PimpDaddy.
Yep.
The new
fuck.
Battlefield.
No.
Oh.
Gaige,
No.
Valorant.
Oh wow. Okay.
Sledge.
Yes, Sledge.
Counter-Strike.
You've had a
No.
guess.
There's no classes in Counter-Strike.
What is it?
Oh, true.
What is it?
Team
What is
Fortress
it?
2.
Oh, yeah,
Of course.
Yeah.
Good
Alright.
game.
The
So
heavy.
we got one more. This one I just really liked, and I know some people tend to know it. I think it's just a really cool quote, but this is like hard mode one. This is the hardest out of all of them, in my opinion.
Gaige, it's World of Warcraft.
No. Stand in the ashes of a trillion dead souls and ask the ghosts if honor matters. Their silence is your
Oh.
answer.
Sledge.
PimpDaddy.
Gage.
Ooh.
I'm going to give that to
Sledge
Gaige.
has a real answer. Sledge can go. No. Give it to Sledge because Sledge has a real
Fine,
answer.
Sledge.
I don't.
It's Mass Effect.
It is.
And I don't know the dude's name, but he's a super bug-looking alien dude.
Yep. Correct.
Garrett.
I
Garrett.
don't think it's
His
Garrett.
name's Javik.
Garrett.
That's the one. I was going to say Jarvis, and I was like, no, that's not right.
Yeah.
That's
All
Iron
right.
Man.
Well, Sledge is on 10. Gaige and Pimp are on 2 each. So Sledge wins.
Woo!
Look, oh, I'll even find.
Ooh,
All right.
nerd flex.
I think you need to
Just
hit
call
that button
me-
again.
Yeah, but a lot of those points were bullshit points that Lachlan was just giving him because he's got a man
Just
crush
call
on
me a
him.
trivia athlete, boys.
Oh,
All right, let's wrap this thing up then. Thank you for organizing that one, Mr. Gore. I think we'll
yes, Lachlan.
I
Thank
think
you
we'll
very
keep
much.
Good one.
Fuck you.
as a thing. And let's round out this episode. So if you have enjoyed this episode, please hit subscribe or follow, depending on where you're listening or watching from.
Yeah, do it.
That
Fuck
does
you,
us
do
a
it.
huge favor, as we're still little teensy boys at the moment.
For yourself, Con, I'm Jack.
You can
Yes,
find all
speak
of
for
this
yourself.
on
I'm
the
thick.
on the Fingerbang Discord, discord.gg/fingerbanggang, or just find it on any of our channels. We should have it linked on our stream channels. So firstly, well, Pimp, you don't really have a channel, but I will say, if anyone enjoys Pimp, you can probably find him in a bunch of my streams. He gets into a bit of Tower Unite and a bit of Sea of Thieves with us. He'll usually be that dude.
You can find him in the
laughing at my
Discord.
Listen, if
terrible
you can
jokes.
Play video
Just
games
if
with
you
him
can
in
hear
Discord.
fireworks in
Yep.
the distance, just walk towards them and you'll find him.
He's like a leprechaun at the end of the fireworks.
Yeah, you'll find me lurking in someone
and-
else's streams, but yes, I'm always around.
In the Discord, join him to play some Sea of Thieves.
Engage while you're at it. Where can we find you, and when will you be streaming next? Since it's been a while.
Fuck. 12 Gaige TV. And I will stream when I'm ready. Fuck you. No, but seriously, probably we'll see. Like, it is very busy season at the moment. Work's wrapping up. It's very busy. Because some other things I'm focusing on, trying to get back on top of my health and fitness, because the 3 months of eating absolute shit hasn't done good things for me. But given that the Halo campaign's coming out, and I am a massive Halo fucking fanboy, so I might hopefully try and see if I can maybe stream some Halo campaign. But I'm disappointed because you can't play co-op, and I was hoping that we could get together and do some fucking co-op Halo, but you can't. But yeah, that's probably best. So we'll see what happens. Fuck you, just follow me and then put those notifications on, and then you'll see when I go live.
And Mr. Gorefather, where can we find you, and when will you be streaming next?
So I'm Gorefather _ on Twitch. I've got my last football game for the year next weekend, I think, and then we've got like a month and a bit off. So I was going to try to get some more streaming in while I have less football practice and stuff like that. So smash them out then.
Yeah, sweet. And as for me, you can find me at twitch.tv/SledgeTV. That's TWEVWE. You can also find me on all my socials under Sledge TV as well. I'll probably be slamming Sea of Thieves, trying to unlock all the new season content. And if you would like to join us for a game, Wednesdays I run a community night where we all jump on Tower Unite and talk some smack, have a couple of drinks, and laugh at terrible jokes. So you can join in on that as long as you have Tower Unite. Super fun game. Highly recommend. And that's going to be all from us at Shooting the Breeze with the Fingerbang Gang. We'll be back in a couple of weeks' time. Actually, we should probably... Yeah, we'll be able to squeeze that in before Christmas, right? Little Chrissy episode.
Yeah,
we'll get
squeeze
Santa
that in.
hats for it.
Right.
What's
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What's the date in 2 weeks?
Yeah, squeeze it.
It's the 19th. We got fucking
Yeah. Christmas
fine.
episode. Woo woo. All right.
Because then, and then again, like on the 19th, and then the next one's New Year's.
That's right. You can catch us every 2 weeks wherever you're listening to this. You'll just find us there again. And thanks for tuning in. And we shall see you when we're looking at yous. Catch yous.
Thanks very much.
Why am I waving scissors? Bye.